The GRDC update in Goondiwindi is one of our premier events for the year, and so certainly the attendance has been excellent this year, and the quality of the speakers and their presentations has also been very high. Certainly the updates provide an opportunity for most of the advisors from the region to actually get together and network, but it's also the ability to come to one location and see a range of different speakers across a broad range of topics that I think really keeps advisors coming back year after year. It's the broad spectrum of topics, and it's also the opportunity to talk one-on-one with many of the speakers after their presentations.
Yeah, the update's a great forum for, interacting with agronomist growers, and I guess as a research, that's where we get a lot of interaction about the work we're doing and feedback on, are we trotting down a certain line that's going to be applicable on farm? And that's always the risk for researchers. You do something that's never going to, for logistical reasons, get adopted. So, yeah, a lot of our ideas come out of these things, and I guess the beauty of research is we've got the capacity then to take that to a controlled experiment situation and pull it apart and see what the drivers are, and then that feeds back into the growers then trialling that on farm.
I find the GRDC updates informative, and that's why I keep coming back. Yeah, well, we're having bigger issues with resistant weeds, so that was, it's an important subject to sort of, this information came out of yesterday, I'll trial at home.
We are always working with a range of projects. The most recent project, and probably the most exciting one, is actually looking at tactical sorghum and maize agronomy in the northern region. And I think it, combined with another minor crops project which is looking at sunflowers, is probably the two most exciting new projects that we've got underway, and that's because we're starting to look a little bit more at some of the smaller and niche crops. So we obviously invest a lot of money into our core crops, which it is very important to continue our investment in crops like wheat and sorghum, but we also need to ensure that we're not completely neglecting those other crop options, because growers still need diversification, and we need to keep our rotations viable, and part of that is ensuring that we've got up-to-date research data for growers and advisors to keep those crops in the rotation. I think this year, again, we'll bring another complex season for growers and advisors across the northern region. Obviously, we deal with both winter and summer crops, so there is a broad range of issues. Still, many of the key things at people's forefront of people's minds are things like herbicide resistance and how to manage our weeds. But we still always need to keep in the back of our minds the other key farming systems drivers, so in particular water use, and how we can actually try and drive our yield potentials further with the amount of water that we have available. And I think this year, for many of our growers, the actual starting soil water is extremely variable. We know that some regions have been doing it exceptionally hard for quite a long time now, and really haven't had the opportunity to have good rainfall and good profiles. And so we're, I suppose, really hopeful that for many of those regions that they'll actually get significant rainfall between now and the start of the sowing window, which will enable them to come back into the winter crop rotation.